Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to day three of the Boston Eleague Major. So I cannot sign into Drake Lounge right now for some reason. Um, there's a lot of people that are having the same issues as me. They, for some reason, on basically any third-party site, it's saying incorrect login for Steam. Literally anything I try to sign into, but you can see here that I'm literally signed into Steam right here, top right corner and stuff like that. Um, but I can't click sign in. But for some reason on my phone, um, websites like SkinJar and like gambling sites and stuff like that allow me to go on them on my phone. But since I have to use a different browser on my phone to go through to Drake Lounge, it still has the incorrect login problem. So at the moment, I cannot even sign into Drake Lounge whatsoever. So I'm probably just gonna set my timer for like about an hour early, and hopefully by the time I wake up, this problem isn't a problem anymore. But if it isn't, I mean, if it's still a problem, then that's just unfortunate, and I won't be able to bet on day three, which is pretty upsetting. But yesterday wasn't that good of a day for me. Anyways, I ended up losing about $150. But you know what happens? It was just a weird day, really. Renegades versus Envious, one of the games that I said that Renegades should take, and like I said I'm gonna put it on a lot of multi bets and stuff like that. Did end up paying out, so that's one games that I had right. And it's not that I really predicted any of the games wrong. It's just that none of my multi bets paid out. The one game that I did predict pretty wrong was Cloud9 versus Sprout. Um, that was the one game that I bet on individually, and it didn't go very well. But as you can see here, yesterday there was only two games where both teams got double digits. Flash and Quantum. Flash got 13, and Flipside Liquid. Flipside got 10. But as you can see, other than that, the games were not really close. Mouse Sports destroyed Navia Mirage 16-2. Space Soldiers 16-9 against a Vanguard. Renegade 16-6 against Envious. Cloud9 16-5 against Sprout. Vega upsetting FaZe 16-6, and G2 beating Misfits 16-5. So a lot of the games were just complete washes, which made yesterday just a really weird day altogether, and I feel like that's one of the main reasons that it didn't go so well. But it'll happen. There's like probably like 7 more days of best of ones, and there's a lot of money to be made, I think. So it's not too big of a deal. Um, On to today's matches. We have one and ones first, I believe. No, it's in a random order, I guess. But first we have a 1-1 game, Quantum versus FaZe. As you can see here, FaZe are dominant favorites, 1.04 multiplier, and Quantum Belt 7.22. So at this point, there's literally no reason to put FaZe in anything, honestly. It's just not worth it because there's always that slight chance that they could lose. Like with the Vega Squadron, there was a reasonable chance that they could lose because, like I had said, Vega Squadron was prepared for the major and stuff like that. And FaZe, although we thought they were prepared for the major, they're still FaZe. We know they struggle in best of one formats. We know they struggle in the Swiss system. It's not their favorite system. They complained about it a lot. Um, but that being said, I think that a team like Quantum is not a team that will beat FaZe. But if you look here, you see you have FaZe 1.04. Let's just say if you put $100, you're going to get. Well, I can only for some reason type in 48, but you type in $48, you're gonna get $2 back. Like that's not worth it. And then say you're trying to do a multi-bet. You see here, Flash is a 3.26 multiplier. You put that with the FaZe game, and it only goes up to a 3.39 multiplier. So literally, it's not worth it to put FaZe in pretty much anything right now. That being said, with a 7.22 multiplier, you can go for some crazy upset potential multi-bets, but just don't really see them paying out. So this is probably just a game to stay away from altogether. Next game is a decent game. We have Envious with a 1.26 and Flash with a 3.26. Um, Flash has looked decently strong in the two games that they've played, starting off very strong against G2. but fizzing out a little bit and not being able to close off that match. And then they had a decent showing against a Vanguard, I think. I'm pretty sure it was a Vanguard. No, Quantum. Yeah, they had a decent showing against Quantum, 13 to 16, and yeah, so they're a decent playing team, and Envious have not had good performances whatsoever yet. So they look like a really broken team and stuff right now. And that being said, with a 3 multiplier, um, I mean, Flash have not looked amazing. They haven't played the hardest of teams. I mean, G2, but G2's not playing too well right now, and I'll get into that. But they're G2, so they'll probably still make it out. But Flash haven't looked amazing. But I think that against a team like Envious, Flash have a chance of definitely winning here. With a 3.26 multiplier, I think that this is a good bet to go into a couple multi bets here and there, or even this might be one of the games where you can throw on a low bet on just this game itself in particular. Next match we have Space Soldiers versus Misfits. In my opinion, I think that Misfits are favorited here, as long as the players played like they did on the first day. Um, because not only was Shangares playing insane mental Counter Strike the first day against Flipside, his team was also playing really good mechanical Counter Strike. So I think that with those two together, they can pretty much beat anybody. But as you can see, the mechanical Counter Strike just wasn't really there against G2. G2's just a better mechanically talented team, so I could see how that was a problem. Space Soldiers, another really strong mechanical team, but I feel like Misfits will be able to manipulate them a little more with the mental part of Counter-Strike, and so if as long as Misfits players are doing pretty well, then I think Misfits will win this game. So that being said, this is going to be one of the multi bets for me, honestly, on Misfits. I think that um, they should probably take this game. Next we have Sprout versus Navi. As I said earlier, Navi got fucked pretty hard, 16 to 2 by Mouse. And it's not like we haven't seen that before. Mouse 16 owing them a Mirage. I don't know if it was the same roster. I don't think it was. But then Navi had actually beaten Mouse 2-0 previously, I'm pretty sure, at like the last event they played with this roster. So no one was really expecting this bad of a game. But Navi are still looking to come into form a little bit, but I definitely think that they're a really strong team and a force to be reckoned with. And going against Sprout, Sprout didn't look very strong at all today either, to be fair. I think that Cloud9 is playing really good, and I think that Cloud9 played so good that it made Sprout look terrible. So that being said, I don't think Sprout is terrible. I think that Cloud9 are just playing so good that it made Sprout look terrible. So I think that Sprout do have a potential for an upset here for sure. If it goes to a map like Cobble, if it goes to a map like Cache, but Navi probably won't play Cache. Navi may play Cobble, maybe Mirage or something like that. I think that Sprout can have a decent chance here. So maybe like a really small bet on Sprout here with the 3 multiplier almost. Yeah, so that's probably what I'll do, maybe a couple multi-bets. With the next game, Vega Squadron versus G2, this is a 2-0 game. So whoever wins this is making it to the top 16 of the major. And I think that Vega Squadron have a really good chance to upset here. I think this is one of the strongest games of the day to bet on individually. I think that G2 have looked alright. They haven't looked anything special. Like I said, Flash got off to a really good start against them. Um, and they played Misfits today, so I mean Misfits is a strong team and all, but G2 just kind of wiped the floor with them. But I think that Vega Squadron are a lot different than Misfits in many ways, and I think that the ways they're different more benefit Vega Squadron than G2. So I definitely think that Vega Squadron have a potential for an upset here, and I think this is definitely a game to look out for. The next game we have Renegades Liquid. This is, I believe this is 1-1 teams. Yeah, it's 1-1 teams. Um, so honestly, this is legitimately a 50-50 for me. Liquid have looked honestly really good, or not really good, but pretty good in the two games that they've played. They almost beat FaZe, and they beat Flipside in a pretty good fashion, 10-16. Renegades have looked pretty good in the performances they've had. They beat Envious pretty well, and then the first day they also lost 16-14, but against uh, Vega, who's looked really good this tournament, so you can't really cut them too much slack for that. And then Renegades also were bringing it back towards the end of that game. So honestly, both these teams were close to being 2-0. Both these teams have had pretty much the same performances, and they're on, I'd say, the same level with Zeus as the playing. And honestly, I don't think that this is a good bet either way. Like the other days, there's been like 50-50s that have been a little more favored in the other team, but this one's pretty split down the middle for me, so I don't really know how I feel about it. Honestly, like I'm trying to think if I would even say who I personally think would win, and I can't give it to either team. Um, I guess if I wanted a team to win a little bit more, it would have to be Liquid, but that's just because I'm from NA, and also I think I really don't know about this game, so I don't think it's worth. I think it should be a good one to watch at least. But I don't think this is a good betting game. Then we have Flipside versus a Vanguard. This is an 0-2 match, so whoever loses this will be out of the major. And honestly, this is the exact same thing as the match above. Avenger and Flipside haven't shown anything special, and honestly, in my opinion, Avenger have looked stronger than Flipside has. So that being said, I might throw a couple multi-bets on with Avenger as the winner. I think Buster's a pretty insane player. Buster and Quick, I think, or no, Quicker, Quikert, I think it's pronounced. Um, I'm pretty sure Quikert is the name. They're honestly really good players mechanically wise, and I think that Flipside are just Flipside are just happy to have technically made the major again, and as usual, they probably won't be doing anything else other than just attending the major. So honestly, I'm gonna give this match to a Vanguard. Um, so yeah, and then the last match of the day is going to be another 2-0 match. Is Mouse Sports versus Cloud9. We've seen this match a lot in the last year, or a couple times in the last year on LAN. Pretty sure it's old Mouse Sports though. Um, I can check right now. I want to say it was older Mouse Sports, but now that I'm thinking about it, the later game might have been the newer Mouse Sports. Um, but either way, both these teams have looked really strong, and this is honestly another 50-50 in my opinion. That's not what I meant to fucking click. Watch your C's go fast ads. You see DreamHack Denver. Cloud9 beat them 2-1. ESL1 Cologne. Cloud9 beat them. I remember this. I think Cloud9 was 0-2 and Mousesports were 2-0. And then Cloud9 ended up beating them in the 2-2 game. So this was the game that I was talking about. ESL1 Cologne. Let's see what team. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing, I guess. ESL1 Cologne. How do I check the fucking. How do I check this match? This? Let's see what the team was. Yeah, this was with Dennis and Lowell. So, we haven't actually. What teams were Denver? How long ago was Denver? 2017. I think this was the most recent teams then, actually. Yeah, this is the most recent teams, and Cloud9 took it 2-1, so take that as you want. They were insanely close best of 3, 16-14, 10-16, and then overtime on the last map. So this is a really close 50-50 in my opinion. Um, if I had to say who looked better, I would say that Cloud9 has looked just a tad bit better in this event so far. I'd say that Mousesports played against a Navi that just like didn't look like a strong Navi, while Cloud9 looked like they dominated Sprout. If that makes any sense. Like Mousesports, yes, they dominated Navi, or like they kicked the shit out of Navi, but it didn't really look like they were dominating them. It just looked like Navi was clueless about anything, while Cloud9 literally read everything that Sprout was doing and just completely and utterly outplayed them. And I feel like that was the same with Envious, and the only reason Envious won so many rounds against Cloud9 was because Scream played really good that day. He didn't play really good today, and obviously it didn't go very well for them, Envious. So, sorry, I need some water. Um, so yeah. So I think that Cloud9, in my opinion, are given the slight edge here. So maybe I'll throw them in a couple multi-bets if I ever get to bet. Let me try right now, see if... Nope, incorrect login. So that's really unfortunate if I don't get to bet on any of the games today. But I hope you guys do, and if you do, good luck, have fun. So thank you guys for watching, and